6 News at 6 with Phil Bremen, Grace Trahan, Storm Team 6 with meteorologist David James, and Scott Hope, Sports.
Good evening. Authorities say some of the bodies from the Oklahoma City bombing may never be recovered.
Rescue workers report seeing the remains of some victims in parts of the building that are unsafe to enter because they're on the verge of collapse. Large concrete columns now are buckling following the explosion that destroyed the Murrah Federal Building. Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating says he views the building as a tomb for the victims that may never be found. This death toll rose today to 131. 62 people, including 8 children, are still missing.
Thousands of people have and are continuing to help the victims and workers in Oklahoma City. Among them, the Oklahoma 89ers baseball team in town today to play the Indians. As Marilyn Carter reports, they are trying to do their part not just symbolically, but financially too.
The afternoon's cloudy and cold weather is similar to the mood that sometimes inevitably overtakes the people of Oklahoma City after tragedy struck there about a week and a half ago. But the players say despite the horrible bombing, the spirit of the people continues to rise again and again.
They're all pulling together and the people are doing everything that they can. People are responding pretty quickly when the Red Cross asks for things, when they need food and they need certain, money. People are giving, and it seems that they want to give, and they're pretty quick to respond.
The players are wearing white ribbons on their caps as a sign of hope. They feel lucky to be here doing their jobs, and lucky to live in a city where the community has rallied before the world. The team is trying to play its role in healing Oklahoma City.
We canceled the game the night it happened. The next day we played our game and trying to get people's lives back to normalcy. And that was the whole idea behind playing the next night.
Most of the players have seen the devastation firsthand and say television doesn't begin to capture its scope. They say not only is the physical damage far-reaching, but so too is the emotional.
I got 3 kids, and so many children died. I can't believe it, people like that, they have people that can do that kind of damage. It's amazing.
The 89ers hope to raise $2,500 for an Oklahoma City woman who lost 2 children in the bombing. Even though most of the players aren't from Oklahoma City, they want to pitch in and do their part for the people who support them. From Busch Stadium, Marilyn Carter, 6 News.
In the wake of the bombing, militia groups here in Indiana are feeling the heat.
From Nashville, the head of the militia in Brown County insists the group is purely defensive, and the Brown County sheriff says he's been invited to its meetings and he's not concerned. But like these militiamen in southwestern Indiana, the Brown County militia is preparing to take up arms against any threat it perceives to its members' constitutional rights. And the first concern of many militia members is that federal agents may come to take away their guns. On today's broadcast of This Week in Indiana, the leader of the Johnson County militia also assured that his group is not bent on violence.
We have got to elect senators, congressmen that are God-fearing, constitutional-supporting people to make the change. It can't be done through the gun.
Heath also happens to be an Indianapolis police sergeant, and he agreed with former talk show host Richard Bottoms that an armed citizen who has decided a certain law does not apply to him is a menace to police.
The Oklahoma City bombing is drawing some unusual responses from around the world. Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi believes the bombing marks the beginning of a mass revolt against the United States. Gaddafi even offered President Clinton safe haven in Libya if he and the first family decide to flee the U.S. The Libyan leader made those remarks during a speech last night marking the 80th anniversary of a Libyan-Italian military battle.
From Indiana with love, a huge message of support for Oklahoma City has been hand-delivered by a delegation from Muncie. Ball State University students delivered this huge banner today. They created it last weekend, you may recall, by sewing dozens of bed sheets together. The students and other Muncie residents wrote their good wishes, plus the message, "Pray for OK." The banner is so big it needed a big place to display it. It was unfurled at the Myriad Convention Center.
Well, Indiana lawmakers have gone home. House and Senate negotiators reached an agreement late last night on how to distribute money to local schools. The General Assembly then approved a $14.6 billion state budget and adjourned. adjourned for the year. For the first time in a decade, the General Assembly finished its business barely before midnight deadline and avoided a special session. While there was a sense of relief between Democrats and Republicans, there were many tense partisan standoffs during the 4-month legislative period. House Democrats staged the longest walkout in 70 years because of a Republican proposal to redraw legislative districts and reduce the House by 1 seat. Republicans eventually dropped the idea. After a lot of debate, the House and Senate okayed a wage compromise bill that reduces the auto excise tax and controls future increases in property taxes. Legislators approved a crime package that provides extra time in prison for a number of violent crimes. Members passed a deadbeat parents bill that suspends the driver's licenses and professional licenses of parents who don't pay their child support. And the House and Senate okayed a welfare reform bill that cuts off benefits to recipients after 2 years and forces them to find jobs. Governor Evan Bayh says this legislative session was a productive one. And despite the fact that Republicans drafted the budget and most of his fellow Democrats voted against it, Bayh says the new state spending plan is good and he supports it. During a news conference today, Bayh praised the budget, calling it historic and sound for Indiana.
Yes, I'm more than willing to live with it. I think it's a good budget. It's balanced. We have record level surpluses. This will enable us to avoid tax increases for several years to come, barring some unforeseen downturn in the economy. And we have made important investments in education, the environment, roads, job creation. This is an excellent budget for the future of our state.
House Democrats who voted no say the budget takes money away from urban schools with large black enrollments to favor faster-growing suburban schools.
A North Side woman on her way to church today noticed a strange car in her neighborhood. When her son went to check it out, he found a dead man inside. Police don't yet know whether it's a case of foul play. The body was discovered this morning in the 3100 block of North Hovey. The victim, identified as 43-year-old Ronald White of the nearby neighborhood, the 300 block of West Congress. There were no visible injuries. Police say they will know more after an autopsy is performed tomorrow. A near North Side child is missing tonight. Her name is Amber Finney, and she's 13 years old. Amber has been missing since Friday afternoon. She's described as 5 feet 4 inches tall, 145 pounds, with 2 small moles on her right cheek. She was wearing an Orlando Magic starter jacket. The student at Harshman Middle School went to school Friday, but was not on the bus home. If you have any information, Indianapolis police ask you to call their missing persons office.
Still to come on 6 News, some area residents put on their walking shoes today to benefit a good cause. We'll have their story next.
And a little later on, Uncle Sam decides it's time to remodel in Philadelphia. That story is coming up, too, on WRTV 6 News at 6.
Here's your prescription, Jeff.
Thank you, Dave. Like most people my age, I discovered that Medicare doesn't always meet my medical needs. But Max 65 Plus from MaxiCare can. Max 65 Plus is a unique program that combines Medicare benefits plus additional health care coverage in one economical package.
To find out how you can join Max 65 Plus, look in your copy of Health Digest from MaxiCare and WRTV 6. For a free copy, call MaxiCare.
I'd like a junior bacon cheeseburger with 2 full strips of bacon and make it fresh.
Define fresh.
Fresh beef, fresh toppings, made right now?
By right now, do you mean right now, or right now today?
Right now.
Let's get back to that fresh thing. Thinking to myself, what is it?
If you like your hamburgers made fresh, you have to come to Wendy's. Our 99-cent junior bacon cheeseburger comes with 2 strips of bacon and fresh beef hot off the grill. Only on Wendy's 99-cent super value menu.
Better food makes it a better value.
Cub Cadet Series 2000 tractors have the competition a little jittery. After all, there's shaft drive in all 7 models. And while the other guys went to great lengths to keep their prices down, Cub Cadet developed over 50 new innovative features and engineered them all into a tractor line that's priced surprisingly close to the brand that just runs. Series 2000 from Cub Cadet, a whole different animal.
Thousands of Hoosiers stepped out today to help future children. That's how it started as WRTV sponsored the March of Dimes Walk America. Several Channel 6 personalities walked along the 10K route to set the pace. The money raised will help fight birth defects and infant mortality. The March of Dimes says Walk America is its biggest fundraising event. Last year, it brought in more than $760 million nationwide.
Well, it doesn't involve a fight, but it is a battle of words. The word in question is a small, seemingly harmless word, but Howard Caldwell considers it one of the most misused words in the English language. Here he is with tonight's perspective.
The word I'm talking about here is the word like. Some years ago, I started hearing the young primarily go on and on about, like, this is what he told me about such and such, or like, she goes, what are you going to do about this mess you've made? Or like, I just didn't know what to say next. Well, the word like in those examples should be exterminated. We don't need it. There's another misuse that is broader and infiltrates various age brackets. Again, it's another misuse of the word like. Examples. It looks like it would rain. The boy drove like a man would. Wrong. Why? Because in each of those examples, a verb follows closely afterward. If there's no verb afterward, it's okay. Examples. It looks like rain. The boy drove like a man. So what do we do if we want the verb late in the sentence? We substitute as if or as for like. Corrected examples, it looks as if it would rain or snow. The boy drove as a man would. Little words can get us in trouble. I got crosswise with a member of the Indiana House recently over the word lost. Representative Jerry Bales caught me using the word lost in referring to legislation that had a vote count of 48 to 49. It didn't pass, and it wasn't defeated. It went on hold because a constitutional majority of 51 is required to resolve the matter. My mistake in the careless use of another seemingly harmless small word. They can be trickier than the big ones. And that's my perspective.
Spoken like a man, Howard. There's good news and bad news for lottery players. The good news, somebody has won the Hoosier Lotto. These are the winning lottery numbers you see on your screen. We know that 2 winning tickets were sold, each worth $1 million. Now the bad news, you did not win the $12 million Powerball jackpot. Nobody else did either. That means Wednesday's drawing will be worth an estimated $17 million.
And just ahead on 6 News, yesterday was a big day for upsets in the NBA. How did the home teams fare today? Scott will tell us coming up in sports.
And will the clouds and rain move out in time for your drive to work tomorrow? Dave's up next with a forecast. WRTV 6 News continues.
Every day, everywhere, lawn lovers wait with the sun and do what they love. Crank up their snapper and head out to mow their lawn. And they mow, and they mow, and they mow. Snapper, creating the most beautiful places on earth.
The 95 Regal. It has its own look, its own style, its own dynamite deal.
Get ready to move, get ready to groove, get ready to fly.
Excuse me, could I interest you in this car?
This is the car?
This is the 95 Regal.
This is beautiful.
It's totally redesigned. All new interior, stereo with cassette, dual airbags, ABS, remote keyless entry, power, everything. What would you pay for a car like this?
Oh, $32,000.
Would you pay under 21 for this car? $2,500 less than Camry, $2,000 less than Accord.
Are you kidding? I'm a businesswoman. That's a great deal.
The 95 Regal, priced under 21 grand. It'll save you a fortune. You know how to pick your cars.
Thank you.
Get into your Central Indiana Buick dealer and get ready to move.
Hi, I need to send some flowers. She works in the bookstore, so she must be smart, and I don't want to look dumb. And the white ones could work, but then there's blue and red. And what about gardenias? I don't even know what a gardenia is. All I know are roses and carnations, and this isn't going to be a carnation, is it? I don't know. Can you put a whole bunch together? But then what would it look like? I'm at your mercy. I need names. I need pictures. I need a catalog from a place with a symmetrical phone number, like 848-8848. And then I could send flowers to the woman who works in the bookstore all the time. Or maybe I should send them to her house, but then I'd have to get her address. And do I put them in a vase or a box? And how big a vase would depend on how
McNamara, know your flowers.
We saw a few minutes ago the pictures of the March of Dimes Walk America. Last evening, we were wondering if the rain would clear out in time for those walkers.
Yeah, it turned out it actually quit raining about 5 o'clock this morning, so it looked to me like they had a great turnout. Of course, the weather wasn't terrific out there. A little bit of drizzle left over this morning, cloudy, cool weather, but, well, that's what we've had here in April, at least the second half of this weekend anyway. Well, as far as some storms, we haven't had many here in the month of April. This is out in Stockton, California, where you normally don't expect to see a tornado, but you saw the tail end of a funnel cloud after it did some minor damage here in Stockton, California, kind of tipped over one of the sheds behind this family's house, and then after the tornado had moved through, they ran out and caught those fleeting pictures of the funnel cloud as it moved back up into the clouds. Well, here in Indianapolis, we've got cloudy skies and 49 degrees, humidity 86%, wind out of the northeast at 13 miles per hour. Temperatures for us today, 54, that was it for the high temperature, and 50 was the low this morning. Of course, now it's back down into the 40s, and 0.05 of an inch of precipitation. So this will make 8 out of the last 10 months we've had below normal precipitation. We're usually seeing over 3 inches in the month of April, but we won't make that. Well, here's the situation as far as we did see some rain last night and through the early morning hours, and it hung on a little bit longer in the northern part of Indiana, but you can see the main part of that weather system scooting right along, headed all the way over towards the east coast. But with the way the weather pattern's set up, we've got another one moving in already out in the left-hand part of the screen, moving through the plain states, headed into the Midwest. Take a look at the live radar picture, and of course we're not picking up those storms out there to the west. It still looks cloudy and a little bit threatening, I know, in parts of central Indiana, but I don't think we'll be seeing any precipitation, maybe a little mist or drizzle, but that's about it. The overall view around the country shows, again, we've got several weather systems to talk about. Of course, first, the one that brought in the clouds yesterday and the rain last night scoots towards the east coast, that area of clouds there, then a little bit of a break in between, even though it's still gray and overcast. And then the next weather system brewing out here in the midsection of the country. And then there's another one off the Pacific coast of the United States. So it looks like every about day and a half to 2 days we're going to have some precipitation, some clouds moving through. But, well, I guess this time of year, to keep things green, we need a little bit of rain once in a while. The overall weather pattern shows the low pressure area that brought us the rain last night and this morning headed towards the east coast. We've got kind of an unorganized system going on out here, still coming together. That'll eventually turn into one low pressure area. High pressure area to the north, we'll have to move that in maybe later on in the week to kind of clear the skies and see much in the way of any sunshine. But for during the day tomorrow, that weather system out to the west, well, it should move through the state of Missouri headed towards southern Illinois by tomorrow morning. And then as the day goes on tomorrow, late in the afternoon or towards the evening, we could see some of that rain move in from the southwest up into the northern part of Indiana. High pressure area out to the west should keep that weather system moving, and so it'll move on out, and then maybe we'll see some sunshine later on towards the middle part of the week. But for tonight, it's cloudy, cool conditions. Definitely you'll need a jacket if you're headed out this evening. Temperatures will be staying in the 40s down to 44 by morning. Then during the day tomorrow, cloudy skies, and that chance of rain wouldn't be until pretty late in the day, so most of the day should be dry tomorrow, up to about 58. And looking at the rest of the week, well, more showers coming our way on Tuesday and then again about Thursday. But for opening day at the track, of course, it's a long way off. Lots of things could happen. But right now, it looks like a good weekend next weekend.
And not that long away after all, really.
It'll be here.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Thanks a lot. Well, just ahead in sports, they had the best home record in the NBA. Could Orlando capitalize on that home court magic today against the Celtics? Scott Hoke will tell us next in sports.
A special edition of Clyde Lee's Medical Matters. Home tests. Some people call them a doc in the box. They test for cholesterol, pregnancy. Now 6 News puts the test to the test. How accurate are they?
If you plan on using these tests, this is news you can use.
Coverage making a difference for Indiana. Watch 6 News at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
#1 in America.
Ford Ranger. It's the best-selling compact pickup in America for the 8th year in a row. Now it's even better because now it offers a brand new, more comfortable interior, a standard driver's side airbag, and more. Plus, you get all the toughness that made Ranger a bestseller. That's why around here, Ford trucks are #1. Ford Ranger. Still just as tough, now even better. And another reason why your Ford dealer's the one.
Your Indiana Ford dealer's the one.
Chicken Alfredo. It's what's cooking right now at Fazoli's.
Fazoli's Real Italian, real fast.
Stanley Steamer's rolling out the Dirty Carpet Challenge. We dare you to let us clean your dirtiest, most spilled on, stomped on, walk all over area of carpeting. If you don't see an improvement after our safe steam cleaning, you don't pay. So find your dirtiest carpet and lay it on us. We guarantee you'll see a big difference. Stanley Steamer. Tough on dirt, gentle on carpet.
Call about our $65 TV special.
I'm Karen Rowe. Hope you're having a great weekend. Be sure to join us for Good Morning Indiana on Monday, though. We'll have the latest news, our Storm Team 6 forecast, and Metro traffic. See you at 6 on Channel 6.
After a huge loss, the Celtics kind of redeemed themselves today.
Oh, very much so. This is a tremendous comeback by these guys. Just 2 nights after their worst loss ever, a 47-point embarrassment against Orlando. The Boston Celtics have come back today. They took away the Magic home court advantage, evening the series at 1 game each with a 99-92 win at the Arena. Just the 3rd time that the Magic have lost at home this year. The Celtics locker room board showing the upsets yesterday. You saw Penny Hardaway driving with a layup. At halftime, it was tied at 47. Penny hits the 3 and another 3 here. He had a game-high 26. Dominique Wilkins had 24 for Boston. He had a good game today. Here, he'll hit the triple, and the Boston Celtics led it by 1 after 3 periods. They were smelling the upset. Sherman Douglas with the steal. Going the other way. Look how quickly D. Brown gets out on the break here. He goes in uncontested for the throwdown. With the shot clock winding down, Douglas fires up the prayer. Thank goodness for nice, soft rims. Even on the road, 20 points, 15 assists for Sherman. D. Brown hits the off-balance J. He had 21. Shaquille had 22. But the Celtics win it 99-92. That series is 1-1. Game 3 in Boston on Wednesday. The Suns and Blazers in Game 2 in the West. Kevin Johnson's mom in the stands having a good old time out in Phoenix. Kevin off the dribble, hits the jump shot. Big game today for Kevin. 28 points, 6 assists. Sir Charles hits off the glass. Watch this one. Nice kiss there. And Paul Westphal enjoying that one. 25 points, 13 rebounds. Woo! And 4 assists for Charles today. A.C. Green will slip back door for the slam. He had 20 and 15 rebounds. And then rookie Trevor Ruffin out of Hawaii. Watch this. Oh! Short arm that one. Air ball. Air ball. Got A.C. getting a big kick out of that one, but the Suns win anyway. 103-94, and they lead the series now 2-0. And Game 3 of that series is Tuesday night in Portland as well. Well, the Eastern Conference first-round series that is a real good one at this point in the 3rd. Charlotte leading Chicago 70-64 with that series 1-0 in favor of the Bulls. Well, the Pacers are, at this point, the only Eastern Conference team to lead their first-round playoff series 2-0. They can eliminate the Hawks by winning Game 3 on Tuesday night down in Atlanta. Last night, a huge game for number 31. Reggie Miller going for some long-distance shooting last night. Had 29 points in the first half, finished with 39, one off the Pacers' playoff record. He was 7 out of 11 from three-point land, and he knew he had the hot hand. He was in the zone. Lost in the shuffle, really, is Rick Smits, who had 27 points and 11 rebounds. The Pacers win it 105-97 last night. Now it's on to Atlanta. They cannot waste any time down there with the Hawks.
You want to get it right away and rest, because with New York losing, you know that it's at least going to go 4 or 5 games. So we're going to try and do what we did last year against Orlando, was sweep and then get that rest. And we thought that was an added advantage for us when we played Atlanta in the second round, because they were a little bit tired.
They're a tough, talented basketball team that has a lot of character and a lot of heart. But we feel we're the better team, and we're just going to have to go out there and continue to fight, continue to claw, and wrap this thing up.
Much more on that tonight on Sports Nuts at about 11:30 or so. A heart-stopping finish in today's Winston Select 500 at Talladega. Mark Martin gets the win. Jeff Gordon second, and he moves into a tie for the points lead at this point, tied with Dale Earnhardt, who had some rough luck. Crossing the start-finish line, beginning the final lap, Mark Martin takes the lead past Earnhardt. Gordon right behind in the slipstream, trying to get past. Morgan Shepherd then here in the 21 car will just tap Dale a little bit right here. Dale goes into the spin, the flaps on the roof come up, and he would end up finishing 21st despite leading this one going to the final lap. Martin outraced Gordon in the checkers for his first win of the season. Gordon finished second, and as mentioned, he is now tied with Dale Earnhardt for that Winston Cup points lead. A former Indy 500 Rookie of the Year is clinging to life tonight in an Atlanta area hospital. Fabrizio Barbaza was the top rookie at the Speedway in 1987, and today he was involved in a very serious crash at the Atlanta Grand Prix IMSA race. Barbaza's Ferrari had stopped on the course and was hit broadside by Jeremy Dale's Porsche, splitting the Ferrari in half. Barbaza has been given a 50-50 chance of surviving. Dale is also in the hospital in serious condition with severe leg injuries, and we will update you on the condition of both of those guys in a very unfortunate accident tonight at 10 and 11.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott.
When we come back, Philadelphia makes room for a new place to call home sweet home. We'll show you WRTV 6 News continues.
See this? It's a bridge. Know who built it? Workers. Know what they ate? Good hearty food. See these? They're the 2 new entrees at Shoney's. Slow roasted pork and sirloin beef tips. See this price? It's low, starting at $4.99. See this generous helping of seasoned rice? It comes with a tender sirloin tips. See these vegetables? You get any 2 with a slow roasted pork. 2 new entrees starting at $4.99 for a limited time. See this logo? It was done by artists. Know what they ate? The 2 new entrees at Shoney's.
Ford Ranger, GMC Sonoma, 2 nicely loaded pickup trucks. Let's look at the numbers. Standard horsepower, payload capacity, highway miles per gallon, standard fuel capacity. Add in available suspensions, standard AM/FM stereo with 4 speakers, and the total? Proof positive that GMC Sonoma offers you more value than Ford Ranger at a great price.
Learn all about it at your Central Indiana GMC truck dealer today.
Get some serious fun on the day you need it most. U.S. Express, every Monday, from the Indianapolis News and the Indianapolis Star. If you don't consider any of your money disposable, take care of business with Business Weekly, every Monday in the Indianapolis News and the Indianapolis Star. To subscribe, call 633-9211.
Tonight on 6 News at 10 and 11:15, 14 men escaped from a maximum security jail in California. 10 get away. And baby Richard is torn away from his adoptive parents to be placed with his biological father. This and more on 6 News tonight at 10 on Channel 4 and at 11:15 here on 6.
Finally tonight, the federal government is promising to rebuild a Philadelphia housing project from the ground up. Housing Secretary Henry Cisneros promised onlookers the government will replace 5 towers of public housing and then controlled implosions demolish the 13-story structures like building blocks. The government plans to build smaller, more livable homes on the site.
And that's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tonight at 10 and after the movie.
ABC's World News is next. Good night.
Thanks for watching WRTV 6 News. When you see news, call free 1-800-WRTV-6 or *6 on your GTE MobileNet cellular phone.
Don't wait any longer. The sale of America's #1 selling minivans is now being extended. Get 4.9% financing or $1,000 cash back on Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, and Chrysler Town & Country. Chrysler minivan owners get even more cash back. Add option packages and save up to $2,600. So don't miss this, the Chrysler Plymouth National Minivan Sale. Only at the minivan store at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Now this is different. Steak & Ale's new sizzling Cabernet strip. A fresh New York strip, served with a delicate Cabernet sauce. You'll hear it long before you see it, as it makes its way from the kitchen to your table. You could say it's put the sizzle back into steak. The sizzling Cabernet strip, only at Steak & Ale, where great steak is our signature.
My air conditioner wasn't too old, working fine. Who'd have thought it was costing me money?
Broad Ripple Heating could have told you that.
Turns out air conditioners just 8 years old can be inefficient. Who knew?
Broad Ripple Heating. We knew. No question.
So I got a Lennox high-efficiency air conditioner. Who'd have guessed I'd be saving up to 40% on my cooling bills?
Broad Ripple Heating, but we don't guess.
Call your participating independent Lennox dealer for special rebates or financing.
Who could ask for more?
Tuesday, a night of double home improvements. First, see the show that started it all, the first home improvement.
That is a man's dishwasher.
Followed by a May race preview special.
Then, the funniest family reunion ever on the 100th episode of Home Improvement.
I don't see any family resemblance, do you?
2 home improvements and a race preview special Tuesday.
Clyde Lee puts home test to the test tomorrow on 6 News at 5.
The Oklahoma investigation, increasing focus on right-wing militias. 4-year-old baby Richard turned over to his biological parents. And Vietnam still struggling 20 years later.
From ABC, this is World News Sunday. Here's Carol Simpson.
Good evening. The death toll in the Oklahoma City bombing rose to 130 today. And as rescue workers crept cautiously through the ruins of a federal building that's threatening to collapse around them, they were hit with more grim news. 4 more children, previously unknown to authorities, are now believed to be among the more than 60 people still buried inside. Because of mounting concerns over the safety of rescue workers, Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating is talking about calling off the search and leaving the missing entombed in the rubble. Meanwhile, the search for John Doe number 2 continues. A 3rd sketch of the elusive suspect has been completed, although it has not yet been released by the FBI. And as ABC's Brian Ross reports, investigators are increasing their focus on right-wing militias.
Not only was the Oklahoma City Federal Building the location of federal agents involved in the raid at Waco,
for concentration camps,
it was also a place right-wing extremists believe federal officials were setting up concentration camps to imprison them.
You're over at the Oklahoma City airport.
In the months preceding the Oklahoma bombing, according to this tape obtained by ABC News, extremist leader Mark Kornke of Michigan toured the country talking about what he called the secret plans for a series of concentration camps.
Housed virtually millions of people very quickly.
I brought Mark Kornke to Topeka, and people loved what he had to say.
A leader of the so-called militia in Kansas, Morris Wilson, says Kornke's appearance in Kansas and what he had to say about Oklahoma City and Waco attracted 600 people and led to the establishment of new militias in Topeka, Wichita, and Junction City.
We organized as a militia on January 21st this year, and we've been growing very rapidly. We've grown about 700%.
The fact of an active militia in the small town of Junction City takes on added significance as federal agents continue to focus on the area as the place where the bomb truck was rented, the bomb ingredients obtained and mixed, and where likely the plot was put into action by as many as 6 or 7 others in addition to Timothy McVeigh, who lived for years in Junction City as a soldier stationed at nearby Fort Riley. Today, the man who heads the militia in the Junction City area, Craig Korth, denied knowing either McVeigh or Nichols, and he refused to say how many men were in his militia unit.
For now,
especially since the government seems to think of us as an enemy. We're a little leery to give that number out. From an intelligence background, you don't give out those numbers. There's enough.
It's not known whether Mark Kornke came to Junction City on his tour of Kansas, and he has denied any connection to the bombing suspects, although other militia members have said suspect Timothy McVeigh was frequently in Kornke's company. And a Kansas newspaper reported today that in the search of the home of McVeigh's friend, Terry Nichols, FBI agents found at least one of Kornke's hate tapes and another tape about Waco, a principal militia rallying cause in Kansas.
Clinton and Janet Reno were very happy to take credit for frying 17 children in Waco, Texas. And now they're crying crocodile tears over children in Oklahoma City. We don't like that. A hypocrite reprobate.
Another Kansas militia leader warned today that any effort by President Clinton to crack down on the militias through new anti-terrorism legislation could lead to a fierce, big battle, civil war. Brian Ross, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, the long, emotional fight for baby Richard is finally over. Medicare reform, Republican style. And the fate of the Vietnamese who fought alongside American GIs.
World News Sunday, brought to you by Cotton Incorporated.
With wrinkled brows, the old have seen deep sorrow, great joy. What does it mean? The touch, the feel, the fabric of our lives. The touch, the feel of cotton, the fabric of our lives.
My new denture adhesive is polygrip free. It is free of artificial flavors and it's free of artificial colors. Polygrip free holds my dentures tight. I can enjoy more of my favorite foods. New Polygrip free.
A new beginning deserves a beautiful finish. Minwax Polycrylic Clear Protective Finish. Minwax Polycrylic dries quickly and cleans up with water. Minwax Polycrylic.
Beautiful.
Today's way to keep wood beautiful.
The long, tangled fight over the custody of a 4-year-old Illinois boy ended today with the child in tears. Baby Richard, as he was called, was taken by his biological parents away from his adoptive parents and the only home he has ever known. ABC's Ron Claiborne has the story.
At the suburban Chicago home where he has spent his entire life with his adoptive parents, a distraught baby Richard was handed over to his biological parents this afternoon. Journalist Bob Green was inside the home.
He was sobbing uncontrollably. He was begging his parents. He was begging his mother, please don't make me go. Please don't make me go.
Lawyers for the child's adoptive parents called today's transfer a tragedy.
The man has never met the child. He has no relationship with him. He doesn't know a thing about any of his needs, any of his habits, or anything else.
Some child psychologists say taking Richard abruptly from the only family he's known will be traumatic.
An immediate separation from parents is analogous to the death of your parents.
From the outset, it has been a tangled case. The biological parents, Ottokar and Daniela Kirchner, are now married, but were not when Richard was born. Ottokar was out of the country, and Daniela told him the baby died. Actually, she had given up the child for adoption. When Kirchner learned the truth, he sought custody. This past January, the Illinois State Supreme Court gave it to him.
The word of this court is final. He is the father. He has rights.
In an interview with 2020's Barbara Walters, the Does said they believe the Illinois decision sends a chilling message to adoptive parents.
The message they've sent is you better surrender custody because we're going to take him away from you.
This afternoon, as baby Richard was taken away by the Kirchners, neighbors and friends outside were crying. Baby Richard's adoptive parents may never see him again. The Kirchners had threatened to deny visitation privileges to the Does if they told the public in advance about the transfer. The Does did so anyway, their lawyers say, because they said the world should see this horrible act. Ron Claiborne, ABC News, Chicago.
And we'll be back in a moment.
I remember when the only choice was aspirin.
Next came Tylenol, but couldn't always handle all my tough headache pain. Now naproxen sodium, but if pain comes back once you've taken it, you could be in pain hours before you can take more. No thanks. For me, the best choice is Advil. I can take Advil the way I want to.
Advil contains the #1 doctor-prescribed pain reliever in its class in non-prescription strength.
Nothing is proven to work better or last longer than Advil. Nothing.
Advanced medicine for pain.
Weeds keep coming back? Then kill the roots with Roundup. No root, no weed, no problem. Roundup.
They left the dance floor empty. That mob just wouldn't rest. Seems the sauce on Lester's chicken just hadn't passed the test. Suddenly they hushed and turned to a stranger on the hill who, with a double dose of bullseye, said, "Go on. Fire up that grill." Well, they poured it on, and their smiles said yes. That big, bold taste tasted best. The big, bold taste of bullseye tastes the best. Now try new bullseye steakhouse style. Steak never had it so bold.
Searching for an oil change you can trust? Turn to the one who knows your GM vehicle best. Your GM Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus dealer. 29 minutes or less, guaranteed.
Now for only $19.95 or less, get a GM Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus oil change. Use us for a change. Stop in today to enter the GM Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus Supercharged Sweepstakes. You could win $100,000 from the GM card or one of 6 GM vehicles or other super prizes.
Monday, I soak my dentures. Tuesday, I brush. Wednesday, I soak.
Wait, all you need is denture cream. Why soak when denture cream gets dentures twice as clean and has minty mouthwash ingredients? All you need is denture cream.
Every day.
More than 2,000 older Americans from all over the country will gather in Washington this week for the first time to attend a White House conference on aging. Although they hope to find ways to improve the lives of older Americans, they come at a time when Congress may take action that could hurt them. As ABC's Jerry King reports, Medicare may end up on the chopping block.
Republicans are now using words like reforming Medicare instead of reducing it. Senate Majority Leader Robert Dole on ABC's This Week with David Brinkley.
If people are concerned about Medicare, they better hope enough of us in both parties are willing to make the reforms necessary to preserve and protect the system.
37 million Americans will be treated under the Medicare system this year at a cost of more than $175 billion. That makes Medicare a prime target in the Republican effort to balance the budget. House Speaker Newt Gingrich is now proposing to keep Medicare out of the budget process that begins this week.
It should not be entangled in the budget debate. We don't want anybody on the left to play school lunch program and try to demagogue the budget debate, and we're prepared to take the two as freestanding separate questions.
Gingrich also challenged the White House to come up with its own program for Medicare reform, something the administration is expected to do this week. One senior Democrat, Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan, said Medicare should be a separate issue.
How can you write a budget at the moment and act on it by, let's say, August without addressing that kind of entitlement?
Just by doing so. We got ourselves into this mess. We can get ourselves out of it.
The words are Medicare reform, but both political parties know they're talking about cuts. The only questions are how and by how much. Jerry King, ABC News, Washington.
Senate confirmation hearings begin Tuesday on President Clinton's controversial nomination of Dr. Henry Foster to be the U.S. Surgeon General. Dr. Foster ran into trouble when discrepancies were found in statements he made about medical procedures he conducted during his career. Today, Senate Majority Leader Dole indicated he has questions.
It seems to me that Dr. Foster, it's not a question of abortion, it's a question of whether or not he leveled with the American people and whether or not the administration leveled with the American people.
When we return, both sides remember the end of the Vietnam War.
In an era when doctors don't make house calls and shopping is done in impersonal strip malls, why does John Deere have dealers that still deliver, that help you with parts and service, and answer questions on lawn care? Are we behind the times or just prouder of the products we stand behind? To find out, why not ask your John Deere dealer? He's right where you need him.
Oh, hi. What do you have? Myself, I have the goulash, I have the fries, I have the cheesecake, and now I'll have the Tums. Tums has calcium.
Many antacids don't. These have aluminum and magnesium. So do these. Tums helps knock out heartburn and gives you calcium.
Something your body needs anyway. So what do you have? Have the goulash, have the fries, have the cheesecake, and have...
Tums. Everybody needs some money sometime. Everybody needs some cash on hand.
When you need money fast, hello, Dad, count on Western Union. We send more money to more people in more places in the U.S. and around the world than anyone else.
Something in my heart just told me sometime is now.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
Here's another reason to switch from this freeze-dried to dark, rich Folgers crystals. Folgers looks more like dark, rich ground roast coffee. Folgers crystals. Open your eyes to the difference in an instant. Yet another reason to switch from this freeze-dried to dark, rich Folgers crystals. Folgers looks more like dark, rich ground roast coffee, but the freeze-dried costs about $1 more. Folgers crystals. Pocket the difference in an instant.
It was 20 years ago today, April 30th, 1975, that an American helicopter plucked the last U.S. Marines off the roof of the embassy in Saigon, and South Vietnam formally surrendered to the Communist North. Veterans and the friends and families of the GIs who died there mark today's anniversary at the Vietnam Memorial here in Washington and by laying a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery. American troops were not the only ones defeated in the war. South Vietnam's forces were vanquished as well. The South Vietnamese veterans who remained in their homeland are frequently shunned. Those who eventually made it to the U.S. faced different difficulties. Here's ABC's Anderson Cooper.
For many, this was the beginning of a nightmare.
I remember that day in 1975, around noon, the communists come to Saigon.
Kung Nguyen was an officer with the South Vietnamese Army. He'd worked closely with American advisors, and that April was stationed in Saigon, studying engineering and planning to marry.
That time, I stayed at home, and I heard on the radio, all soldiers must put down their weapons. I'm very scared. And I was afraid.
Over the next several months, at least 100,000 former soldiers and other South Vietnamese were rounded up. Kung would spend the next 7 years in prisons in the North and the South.
Can you describe it?
No, nobody can describe how Kung will be in the prison. Nobody can know.
In the months and years following the end of the war, hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese escaped Vietnam and were accepted as refugees in America. But it wasn't until 1989 that Vietnam permitted those it had imprisoned to emigrate to the United States.
This is my father. My father, he's an honest man.
Kung moved here 2 years ago with his mother, wife, and 2 children. He is one of about 25,000 former prisoners who've settled in Vietnamese communities here. They feel like strangers. The earlier waves of Vietnamese immigrants were young and adapted quickly to American life. They were entitled to 3 years of federal assistance and built thriving communities modeled on the suburban American dream. But these newest arrivals are old and only receive 8 months of federal assistance. Often in poor health because of their imprisonment, they can't speak much English and can't find jobs. They find they don't fit in a community that is as much American as it is Vietnamese. Just walking around one of the many malls in Orange County's Little Saigon, it's not too hard to see the Americanization of Vietnamese culture. While the sounds and the signs and the food may be Vietnamese, the presentation is purely American. The success of the Vietnamese who arrived in the 70s and 80s is a reminder to these men of what they don't have. When sitting in this mall, what do you think?
I think Vietnamese here are very rich.
Very rich? Do you think you will be able to become rich here?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because I come late to Europe.
Trung Van Tran spent 10 years in prison in Vietnam. After 2 years here, he feels lost, isolated from his own community. I think we still have walls between us, he says. They're very Americanized. They don't have time to say hello or bow like they would in Vietnam.
I brought all my family.
For these men who have lost much of their lives to war and prison, watching old customs and traditions fade is bittersweet.
The war is ended, but it still remains in my thought. I was a Republican Vietnamese officer, but that's the past. Now we try to work for our future, my children and our family.
Kung Nguyen's 83-year-old mother returned to Vietnam last month, unable to adjust to America. But he will stay, hoping things will be better, at least for his children. Anderson Cooper, ABC News, Little Saigon, California.
Today in Ho Chi Minh City, formerly known as Saigon, Vietnam staged a parade to commemorate its victory 2 decades ago. Speakers paid tribute to the wartime sacrifices made by millions of Vietnamese. As ABC's Mark Litke reports, those sacrifices may have ended, but the suffering has not.
As they sing the praises of Ho Chi Minh, the father of their country, Vietnamese children have reason to smile. For the first time in a half-century, there is no war in their land and no threat of war.
But the peace in Vietnam has not been an easy one so far. The legacies of war continue to inflict a heavy toll on the Vietnamese people.
It's not enough to say this is one of the world's poorest nations, average income less than $20 a month. The devastation caused by the war was so extensive, this country is still rebuilding from the ground up. There are 50,000 miles of roads that need to be repaired, along with 4,000 bridges. With very little heavy equipment in the country, most of the work is being done by hand.
Now we are facing quite a lot of consequences of the war.
Deputy Foreign Minister Lê Mai is one of several top officials who sometimes despair over the slow pace of reconstruction.
We have lost 20 years because of the war. And it's quite difficult for Vietnam, you see, to catch up with other neighboring countries.
Then there is the human cost. This month, Vietnam revealed for the first time that in the war with the U.S., 1.1 million North Vietnamese soldiers were killed, along with 2 million civilians. The cost of caring for orphans, widows, and disabled veterans is still a heavy drain on the economy, and no one knows how to deal with more than 500,000 soldiers decommissioned in the past 4 years. They are visible everywhere, working at menial jobs or waiting for work. It's not uncommon to see the once proud victors on the streets begging.
It is too much. There are too many things for us to do.
Dr. Win Phong is a member of Vietnam's National Assembly and director of the Tu Du Maternity Hospital in Ho Chi Minh City. She was the first to discover an even more sinister and frightening legacy of the war, an epidemic of cancers, miscarriages, and birth defects affecting thousands of Vietnamese. The apparent culprit, Agent Orange. In the 1960s, the U.S. military dropped tons of the toxic defoliant on an estimated 3 million acres of countryside to destroy the enemy's jungle sanctuaries. Vietnamese doctors now say this is the fallout. Children born with no arms or legs, many suffering rare forms of cancer.
I really feel very, very sad. There is no justice for the Vietnamese people.
Still, this is a determined nation long used to struggling against impossible odds.
If you pass through many years of war sufferings, then you cherish peace. You understand the significance of peace.
However difficult that peace may be, the Vietnamese say it offers much more hope for the future than the many years of war. Mark Litke, ABC News, Hanoi.
And we'll be back in a moment.
Now you can get 50% off all frames at LensCrafters. 50% off every frame we carry.
LensCrafters 50% off all frame sale.
This is a great deal. People should not miss this.
Hurry, Lenscracker's offer ends Monday, May 8th.
Weeds keep coming back? Then kill the roots with Roundup. No root, no weed, no problem. Roundup.
While you weren't looking, something magical happened. The durability of an oil-based enamel and the easy cleanup of a latex came together. Hard to believe? Try it and see. Duratex Colors Enamels from Red Devil for the finish of a lifetime.
Got something different for your sensitive teeth.
Well, you can take it back. My dentist wants me to use Sensodyne.
This is Sensodyne. Sensodyne with baking soda.
No pain. My mouth feels fresh and clean.
Sensodyne with baking soda. All you feel is fresh and clean.
Travel with us, and you don't even need a passport.
Explore Austria, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, and France on Good Morning America's Passport to Europe.
Starting Monday here on ABC.
Finally tonight, the answer to one of the most maddening questions of all time. What do men really want? ABC's Jeff Greenfield has determined that men are pretty much like everybody else. What they desire the most are the things they can't have.
For centuries, men have traveled into the heart of the big city to seek out and fulfill their deepest fantasies. But if you really want to see men's deepest fantasies on display in New York these days, don't visit the flesh pots of Times Square. Just take a look right here. At a monster expo like the New York Auto Show, there are hundreds of models on display. No, not those kinds of models. These kinds of models. Practical cars, family cars, the sport utility vehicles so white-collar yuppies can pretend they're forest rangers. And there's an attempt to look environmentally concerned. I think Ford went a little overboard here. But what really makes the heart beat faster are these fantasies. The machines that seem to promise a journey out of this world.
Excitement, fascination, it's a lot of dreaming, too. A lot of people just want to get close to something that they might be able to get to.
Kim Marie is here demonstrating Ford's GT90, what they call a concept car, what they used to call dream cars. Take a look at these faces, and you can see why. These cars seem to speak of a future that's a technological utopia, the kind of future once promised in those films General Motors used to show at the World's Fairs. Here's what 1960 was supposed to look like back in 1939. And here's what they thought today would look like back in 1964. But you can find an almost tangible mix of lust and longing around cars you can buy right now, assuming you have about $100,000 for this Porsche or $207,000 for this nifty Ferrari. Just what is it that stirs such hunger?
The ultimate quality, the ultimate toy. It's like the lottery winners, all the winners circle, something someone else does not have.
It's an inner circle thing. It's unique. It's an expression of oneself.
How it feels that they're nice, right?
A generation ago, a prominent psychologist argued that when men look at sleek luxury cars, they were seeing a lover. When they looked at solid practical cars, they were looking at wives. Surely that kind of thinking is hopelessly sexist and outmoded today, right? I'm Jeff Greenfield.
Right, Jeff, absolutely right. And that's World News Sunday. Tomorrow, watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. I'm Carol Simpson. Have a good week and good night.
From Washington, this has been World News Sunday.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
The biggest movie events of the year are back-to-back here on ABC. Sunday at a special time, Clint Eastwood's biggest movie ever, Unforgiven. Then Monday, Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard. Unforgiven Sunday, The Bodyguard Monday. Both at special times on ABC.
For the 34th year, St. Margaret's Hospital Guild is sponsoring the